Welcome to a web edition of Cuse Countdown. I'm Bailey Lipschultz alongside Seth, Quam, and Brianna Adams. Guys, Syracuse takes on Binghamton in a short week after a big win against North Carolina. How important is it for the Orange to get a little bit of a winning streak going into the ACC tournament?
You know, you might see the Binghamton Bearcats and think this is a shoe-in victory for the Orange, but it's still important to play, and it'll be nice to see Evan Malloy get another game under his belt and really build some confidence for the goalkeeper who's taken over the last few games into the season and really get that momentum heading into the ACC tournament.
Yeah, and on top of boosting morale for these teammates, this is the game that you get to tweak any flaws that you have had this entire season. This is the last time before the tournament that they will be able to get it right.
Big game for the Orange, taking on the Bearcats of Binghamton. But before we get into that, let's take a look at Syracuse in that avenging win against North Carolina. Dylan Donahue and Joe Gillis getting warmed up before the game. But here, a nice save by Evan Malloy, dishes out to Paolo Safiri. Safiri running in it across midfield with a nice dish here to Dylan Donahue. Donahue quick pass to Tim Barber. Tim Barber with the goal. Syracuse goes up 1-0 with just over a minute into the game. But later on for North Carolina, Michael Taliaferri, a nice snipe, beating Evan Malloy. Time the game up at 2 with just over 6.5 to go in the first quarter, but not so fast as Nick Mariano here with the absolute burner, getting it there with the assist to Tim Barber. Syracuse, guys, finally getting it going. What happened?
The Orange have really been able to play well in the first half all season. They get momentum, score early, and it's really the second half where they normally struggle. Nice
goal there. Another one for Nick Mariano, but here, Sergio Salcido, top shelf, top cheddar. Syracuse goes on a 6-0 run up, 9-3 with 12 minutes to go in the third quarter. But North Carolina says not so fast. Michael Taliaferri again with the goal. Syracuse lead then cut to 4, just over a minute in the third quarter. Later on, Michael Taliaferri here again, nice dodge, and beats Evan Malloy, cutting the lead to 2, 12 minutes to go. Will Syracuse blow it? Nick Weston says not so fast here with a nice snipe there. Syracuse goes up 11-7, and it was all Orange from then on out. This one, Jordan Evans getting found by Dylan Donahue behind the back. That's embarrassing. Syracuse wins 13-7, an avenging win for Syracuse as it lost at North Carolina a year ago. And the Orange clinch an ACC tournament berth. Dylan Donahue and Sergio Salcido, 5 points each. Nick Mariano dropped a hat trick, and Ben Williams, 16 of 24 from the X. Guys, everyone got it going in this one for the Orange.
It's great to see the Orange able to stop the North Carolina Tar Heels run there in the second half, make sure they didn't blow the game, as you said, Bailey, and it goes to show that Evan Malloy is able to stick with one of the premier offenses across the country.
This is a great outlook for what is going to happen next in the tournament. To see them come out up on top in the second half against UNC really shows what they can do during the tournament.
A big win for the Orange, getting everything back on track again, a 6-goal win. But here's what Sergio Salcido and some of the other players had to say after the big win for the Orange.
I think it just helped kind of revamp our confidence a little bit, help us get kind of our swagger back, as guys say. But I think it just let us know we're capable of winning big games against good teams. We just got to stay the course and keep working hard.
Yeah, definitely my consistency. I think that I've put together a good game so far, but the third quarter's been a spot that we've struggled in as a team, and I think that if I can kind of weather the storm there personally, make some saves in that third quarter, I think that that'll really help the team a lot. So kind of playing a full game to the ability I know I can play, I think that's something I want to improve on.
The local teams tend to play us really tight, and Binghamton isn't having their best year so far, and if they can get into the Carrier Dome and come out with a win or a very good game, if they win, I'm sure we're going to be in the cover of their media guide next year. So, and we have to, we know we're coming off a North Carolina win, and we've got to match their emotion and be ready tomorrow night.
I don't know about you guys, but Sergio Salcido and Evan Malloy were two names I never thought we would be talking about at this point. How important was it for them to play well against North Carolina, especially with what could be viewed as an easy gimme game against Binghamton, where the Bearcats are looking for a big upset?
Yeah, key contributors for the Orange this season. Evan Malloy stepping up in the last few games, taking over at the goalkeeper position, and talking, that he clearly needs to improve in the third quarter, just as the whole team does. And definitely contributors that the Orange is going to need to have the rest of the season. It's been definitely a rough kind of up and down year for the Orange, and so if they want to make a run at this thing, they're going to need all hands on deck going into the ACC tournament.
I completely agree. There has been a lot of key contributors up and down in the beginning of the year, like completely different names. You don't know who is going to step up. And now seeing that Salcido and Malloy are stepping up late in the game, you have so many opportunities that this team has coming into the tournament.
Again, everyone contributing for that big win against North Carolina, though. Now we take a look at the standings in the ACC. The Orange bumping up to 3 with that win. So they secure their spot in the ACC tournament with that win, sitting right now above Duke and trailing behind North Carolina in a big game, the final ACC game between North Carolina and Notre Dame, who will meet up this weekend.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Syracuse clearly ready to play anyone, and definitely a little bit more relaxed going into this game against Binghamton, knowing they have a spot in the ACC tournament.
And it's great seeing the potential of Syracuse possibly being a number 2 seed in the tournament. Who would have saw that come in middle of the season? And they can get that and UNC loses.
So a big weekend for Syracuse to be able to sit back and watch. But before they can sit back and watch, again, they have to take on the Binghamton Bearcats at home at the Carrier Dome. Seth, for that game, what is your X factor?
Well, Evan Malloy touched on kind of their third quarter play has been struggling this season, so I'm going with second half scoring. Overall, Syracuse has just not played well in the second half. They've been outscored in the second half in all of their losses this season, and that's just something that they, for whatever reason, after halftime they come out flat. They give up those big runs even after they've built a lead in the first half. So if there is one way that Binghamton can upset this Orange team, it'll be coming out strong in the second half and making a run towards the end of the game.
Yes, we do struggle in the second half, but there is consistency in certain players, and that's why my X factor is Dylan Donahue. He has scored in every single game this season. He's scored in 60 of his last 63 games. You can count on him to at least score 1 goal against Binghamton. So with an up and down kind of team in the second half, you can count on Donahue.
So we'll have to wait and see who can step up for the Orange, especially in that crucial third and fourth period. But Brianna, when the clock hits 0-0, what's your prediction for this game?
I still have Syracuse winning because it's Binghamton. You just won UNC. It's a great feeling. They have a lot of momentum. So I have them winning 14-6. And because of that, there's just a lot of offense that's been really stepping up, a lot new players or just players that haven't been stepping up before. So because of that, I can see them coming up on top.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Brianna. I'm going to take the Orange 14-8. Binghamton 0-6 on the road. Just not as good of a team as the Syracuse Orange. I think the Orange will have no problem with the Bearcats.
Both of you guys having Syracuse scoring 14 goals, so we'll see what happens there. Big time, though, for the Orange. Again, taking on Binghamton tomorrow night at the Carrier Dome. For Brianna Adams and Seth Quam, I'm Bailey Lipschultz. Thanks for watching.